Hi, this is Chef and Builder Janie Pendleton. We're back outside on the job site where we're going to finish this stone wall today. What we're doing today is we are going to build the archway, the slip form for the archway. You can do this for your garden, so come along and let's get started. Okay, so what we've done here is we've just taken our 2x10s. We know that this is the same width because we use these inside of our slip forms for our wall, okay? Here we made one arch inside of here that goes right here. And then we put the faceplate of a larger arch on top of it to give us 11 inches out. And then here, we put on some backboards. And then here we're going to put on some faceboards. And that will give us the same width, that 2x10, which is 9 inches actually for the width, right here for this wall coming up. We've leveled this, we've squared it, we've straightened it all up. We're all ready to go. And then we're going to put some front boards on this. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to lay these two columns up the 2 feet first. Because remember, you never want to go higher than 2 feet at a time when you're slip forming. Okay? Keep that in mind, even when you're doing your columns. So we'll do this today, we'll do this column today, and then we'll come back and then we'll put on the arch last. So right here what we're going to do is we're going to let go of this screw and this screw here just a little bit, and these two legs, hang on, let me stand back here just a little bit, and these two legs right here will kick in and we'll be able to pull this form right out. You just want these two side legs to kick in. Here are my keystones. I've got several to choose from for both sides. You want a keystone on both sides? Okay, and there's our wall. You can see how nice and straight down there we got it. And you can see the side of the archway. You want to make sure that this is level this way and this way. Make sure you got it nice and level. And like I said, this is going to harden up like concrete. But look how nice we got that corner. And I went through and I put on a little bit more down here. Doesn't that look nice? You can do this. Now I've had someone wrote me and said that they tried this twice. They weren't going to try it a third time because it didn't work for them. But remember, I'm going to show you the mortar mix that we use. Okay, we use the Quikrete Type S mortar mix. This is the 80-pound bag, okay? And it's the commercial grade Quikrete Mason mix. You see that? Type S mortar Mason mix. Okay, this guy mixed his own mix and he put gravel in with it. And it caused it to adhere to the board and it pulled it all off the board. We haven't even been using the PAM or the motor oil or anything, have we, John? We just put it up there.
We just take one side off at a time.
Yeah, one side off at a time. Get it nice and clean. Now I want to show you, we did this right here. This is our one and only mistake here. This is what happens when you do it too late at night and you don't have the sun to make it set. Well, we were doing it under the tent. It had been raining. And the mortar mix was still just a little bit too wet. I tried to fix something. We put the board back on and we ended up losing a section of the wall here. So that was the only problem that we had, and that was because the mortar mix was drier down here and I'd fixed a spot and I got the mortar a little bit too wet too late in the evening. And so what we did is I just went back through here and I packed in and made some shelves for some stones to sit on. And then what I'll do is I'll stick some boards up against it. I'll pack some stones up in there, sit a couple boards on there, let that rest, and I'll just rebuild that. I mean, that's definitely fixable. But I think what happened is I think I had a seashell like this in there, and I think when I pulled the seashell out, see the seashells? And I think when I pulled the seashell out, it caused it to crumble on out. So, I mean, that's just the way it is. But look, you can see my sea glass in there, my seashells. Isn't that beautiful? Well worth the effort. My inlines look really good. Like I said, other than the one where the stones fell out, but all in all, I mean, it was a project that my husband and I were able to do together. And there's no way we could have done this and freehand laid it like this for a wall. There's no way, is there, John?
No, and you're gonna have to have 2 people.
Yeah, you got to have 2 people. You just got to work it too fast. If it sets up on you too quickly, your best waiting time, Like today's about 82, 84 degrees out today. Your best waiting time is probably no more than a half an hour. If you're doing it alone, just work in smaller sections, but never go up more than 2 feet at a time. And go here and start from the beginning and watch the first part video and see how we did this. But doesn't that look sexy? We'll have a walkway coming in here around this corner of the house. We'll have our pond here. We'll have this beautiful archway here. And we'll have our nether waterfalls and faucet here. You can see our electrical is all done. Our electrical is in. We're already using it for the drills. Our drainage system's in. We got to put the sleeve on this one. And you can see where our drainage system here goes actually through the wall. I'll come out here to the other side and show you this. See, our drainage system here goes through the wall. And there's another view of the drainage system. So other than the little hole in the wall here that I gotta fix, let's see, get back here where you can see it better. See, I wanted to show you how good that looks lined up with the house. So let's go ahead and let's get this archway in, and we'll be right back when we start laying stone. This is not going to be easy. I can't reach down in there. This stuff's way too dry. I need more. It's way too dry. But let me have a shovel full here. I might gotta spray it with a little bit of water. This is a very, very, very tight spot. And I'm trying to make it so we don't have to take this whole thing out, but I guess we're gonna have to. This is not gonna be easy. This is gonna be like sewing something really hard. We're just gonna have to take our time and. All right. More. Just in case. I gotta build like a little shelf for this. Okay. I don't know if it's wet enough to adhere to the stones or not, but we're gonna give her a go. All right. The arms are almost not long enough to do this. There we go. That one looks for there.
Which blocks do you want?
Most boxy looking ones, I guess. Okay. So John's my hod carrier here. He's got the mask on because he's mixing all the mortar. You want to fill in with some little rocks, some brick ties, whatever it takes. And you just want to start laying this down inside of here and start bringing this column up here to this curve. And we're going to stop. We're up about right here now, so 2, 3, so about 4 rows. We're going to come up about 4 rows and then we're going to stop. And we'll be back when we get that part done. We just took off the front 2 boards one at a time, scraped it down. We just let it rest like maybe 15-20 minutes and let it kind of get some air to make sure none of these corner stones fell off. Then we took off the ends, the 2x9 or the 2x10s, excuse me, which is 9 inches wide. We took those off the end and then we scraped those down and then we picked this up and pulled this off. And this is what we ended up with. Here you go. So our columns are done and built. Show you from out here. There we go. See? It worked. And I just set some seashells and some sea glass and stuff in those. Now what we'll do is we'll set this back up again and we'll go ahead and we'll finish just the arch. But remember, you're only going 2 feet up high at a time when you're slip forming. I've said that over and over. 2 feet at a time. You don't ever want to go over 2 feet. You can see it's getting ready to storm here. I'm gonna have to cover everything up with plastic. But we got done here just in time. Isn't that beautiful? We got the drain here coming out, so no water stays behind here. And I was able to fix this blowout that we had here as well. I just took some sticks and ran some sticks and propped some sticks up against each stone and filled up around it and put in some seashells and some other stuff here. And when this dries, should dry the same color just like everything else, and you won't be able to tell that even happened. So it's kind of a good thing it happened. I was able to show you that it even happens to the best of us, but it is fixable. My husband's been calling me pin tuck Pendleton all day because I've been pin tucking all the stones. But we got a nice straight wall. I mean, look how nice and straight that is. We'll have a nice gate coming in here. Our sidewalk will come down the house right here into this little enclosed area. We got some people coming to clean and stain the deck. We'll have a face fountain over here with that trough. I'm using it for Steph, but it actually goes right here at the face fountain that will be coming over here. Again, the arch, and then over here we'll have the pond, and we have all the hookups for it. And then there's our drainage in the corner. Okay, but I'm really happy with it. The archway is going to be absolutely stunning. This is the side of the house that we just finished landscaping. You can see that wall here from another position. Isn't that room gorgeous? That's my office, by the way. I needed a place for the customers to come through. A pretty place, and they can come through the arbor and just walk right into my office without going into the rest of my house. Blackberries are ready for a third picking. And we got a volunteer sunflower here. Roses are in bloom. Look at this butterfly bush. Oh, this camera does not do it justice, trust me. We've got Indian blanket. We'll look at it from this point of view. Trust me, this just does not do it justice. But this is Chef and Builder Janie Pendleton. Blessings. So come on, let's get started. Okay, so we're back. This is 2 days. I've let this columns here cure for 2 days. We lifted this up and out, cleaned all around the brick with our wire brush and our soft bristle brush. You've seen us do that in part 2 of this series, of the 6-7 part series. And what we've done now is we've lifted this up and put this back in here and squared it up. We've leveled it this way and we've leveled it this way, okay? So you can see this straight on a little bit better. And you can see our wings are back off here now. We don't need those on here, but we did slip this back over the top. And I'm going to show this to you a little bit better here. Now basically this ended up being about 10.5 inches from here to here by the time I got all the mortar brushed out of it. And you can't hardly tell where that's at. That's going to take about, we did this about 7 days prior to doing this little section here. Get back to the basics. Start doing some of this stuff yourself, and slip forming is a way that we can do this ourselves. Okay, so I'm going to get back at it and we will see you. I'm going to go ahead and I'll start laying these stones just like I did in the other videos. John's going to he's going to mix my mortar for me over here, and I'm going to start laying. And hopefully I won't get stung by these little guys. And we'll see back here when we've taken off the form. We'll have to lift this form up and over so we don't knock these stones out. And what we'll do on this one is we'll take off the front and we'll scrape the top. Take off the front, scrape the front, take off the back, scrape the back, and we're going to leave these on the arch until we know they're good and dry so these don't collapse. And we'll be back in a few hours and show you how it looks. Okay, so I got that all laid, going up all the way over, and I got a little bit of this part right here. I just did one row and then I came back to the other row, and then I put in the keystones and filled in the top. Okay, so we've got the back brace off and we took it off in 3 parts because we had 3 parts on there. And we just kind of started with the side that we knew that was the oldest, that was the most dry. Went to the middle, then went to the back side here. And I'm going to show that side to you in a minute. Got it all brushed, wire brushed off. The first thing I did was wire brush the open end because it was hitting the air and it was drying quicker. Now we've just taken off that first form. The form that was on top of this one. This makes the arch and the other one makes the wall form. See, there it is right there. Alright, now this is what it looks like after it's been brushed and before it's been brushed. Now you'll know that this is ready. This is number 1 question. You'll know that this is ready when you can still break off this and kind of push it into the joints. Just lightly push it into the joints. It's still workable. Okay, it's still crumbly and workable, but it's not so soft. I mean, my stones, you can see here, my stones are firm and set in there. Alright, now I'll show you this other side. And there's the side with the keystone in the middle there, and it's been brushed, and it will lighten up to look like the columns that we did 2 days ago. Remember, you're only going up 2 feet at a time. And when I did this, I started here and I did a couple rows like this, then I did the inside row and the keystone, then I came down here and I did 2 rows, then here, and then I finished and met the second row up here at the top. Alright, now we're not going to knock this out of here yet. And I'm going to go scrape the other side. When I get done with that, we'll be back and I'll show you the other side. And we'll show you us dropping this out. And then we'll have to very gently wire brush and soft bristle brush up underneath here, the exposed underside. And that's you know, this has to really set. We really need these stones to work with this keystone. Alright, and we'll be right back. Okay, we've got nearly a full moon here above us. Isn't that cool? And what we've done here is we've knocked off the front plate now, the back plate. I've got it all scraped down. And we've got these legs here just on 1 screw on each corner. That way these 2x10s can pivot inwards and we can drop this down. You just pull a leg in here, pull a leg in, let's see if you can see a spare. Pull a leg in here, pull a leg in here, and we're just going to drop this down and then pull this out. Now right now we've got it dropped just a little bit. We brought it in just a little bit so it would drop about 1/4 of an inch, and you can see up through here, I don't know if you can see it or not through the moon here, but you can see up in there, and it is holding its own. See that? It's holding its own. You can see the keystone. I've got the seashells put in. I've got the sea glass put on. And I don't know if you can see that very well tonight or not. My husband's brought a lamp out here for us.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So it is, there's the moon. It's holding its own. We've prayed about it. And
bring it forward.
And here we go. So let me set the camera up, John. We can watch us removing it. This ought to be interesting. Okay, wish us luck. Okay, you ready? Okay, now tell me what the plan is.
The plan is I'm going to twist this just a little bit more.
Okay.
Just like that. And I'm going straight out.
Let me feel them first. Let me make sure.
Honey, they're
Oh,
hard.
they're hard.
They're hard.
We're hard to hear. Let me. Okay, well, hang on. You're going to bring the legs a little more. We're going to drop it down a little more. Okay, now we're going to drop this one a little bit more.
I don't know if you can drop this one.
Okay, hang on. Let me see how it looks. Okay, so now what do you want to do? How are you going to do this?
Straight forward.
No. We're still hitting these right here.
I know we're
Still
going to hit
hitting
those.
these. Here, let's go ahead and take this down. Let's go ahead. Here, you pull this one in. I'll pull this one in.
I'm going to take the screws out of the things, and that will allow it to drop straight down. Take these screws out. Ready?
Yeah. One in. Okay, well we can go ahead and pivot it. We can drop it.
Understood.
Okay, now hold on. You need me to use it as a prop. Now let me kick this one in. You ready? Oh, there we go. And it's still connected, so there's nothing I can do. Okay, you ready? We're going to lift it and push. Keep rocking. Come on.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, you got it. You got it.
Okay. Whoa. That's it. Whoa.
Alright, that's a high five. It stayed. Now, hang on, I gotta decide whether I want to clear it up or whether I just want to leave it that way. I wouldn't walk underneath that if I were you at all. I wouldn't even risk it. I mean, it's hard. I'll go ahead and start scraping it then.
You want me to help scrape or?
No, got it. Just gonna be really gentle and take my time. Hi, we're back outside again where we just finished the arch. What did I tell you? You can do this too by following my slipform construction. This is Chef and Builder JD Pendleton. Thanks for joining us for this series of the DIY Blessings